The adventuring party returns to the town of Rowenhold, next to the woods of Mirkwood, where a strange mist seems to be creeping out from the trees. They visit the townmaster, a friend of the party, but she's not in good spirits. Something's on her mind. We pick back up with the party, Tala, the shape-changing druid, Bam, the life-giving cleric, Garagos, or Garros for short, the hunter.
Kind of getting a little bit later and an abnormal fog starts moving up. You can see further down south, looks like there's some people or like a camp, very similar to when you guys approached the city of Dale with all the kind of travelers and folks and their different tents and like a merchant type company. Further down the river, you can also see kind of the woods that are look a little extra dark and ominous. Fog is kind of rolling out from Mirkwood and kind of seems to engulf you more than you actually remember from before. But you do recognize the town structure itself. You recognize the town of Rowenhold. There's people out and about handling their business, just pulling carts, attending to their gardens. Multiple people recognize you and come up and shake your hand and welcome you back home. And then you find yourself in the Great Hall once again, where a makeshift feast has been pulled out, and Gelovira is sitting at her main item. Big bottles of wine, ale, and all cheering you guys how great you are, how you helped fight up the Omaha Steak, all that good stuff. Everything you imagine, but you can see that Gelovira is in a very melancholy mood. Her piercing gray eyes are hard to look into long, and there's definitely something on her mind.
Who would like to talk to
Tala? I've never met this lady.
Yeah, you haven't met this lady. There we go. I go up to the front and I introduce her to our new party member, Tala. And I say,
she looks rather kind of distraught in her thoughts and kind of concerns. She makes pleasantries. She's like, "Oh, not very nice to meet you, Tala. I hope you were received well in town."
Thank you, lady. It was nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you also. Then one of the dwarves walks over and says, "I remember what I was going to tell you. I think that an island is a mountain. I think that a fountain is a puff of air. What am I?"
Fish.
he says yes, and he kind of pulls out a big fish and like throws it right at your face.
What?
And he kind of rolls laughing. The dwarves do, and then he's like, that's a good one, but I bet I can stump you next. He goes, "A box without hinges, lock or key, yet golden treasure lies with me."
Egg.
He throws an egg at you. Do you try to catch it, Tom?
I duck.
You duck. It hits one of the other dwarves
egg?
right behind his head. It's a duck egg. Then he repeats and says, "I'm going to get you on this one. A head have I, a tail have I, no body have I. What am I?"
A tadpole.
He laughs and he says, no, not a tadpole.
Read it again.
A head have I, a tail have I, no body have I. But then he continues to laugh and think about it. He's like, "But that's pretty good. Pretty good there. You'll like this answer better."
I was just hoping he was going to throw a tadpole at someone. I got nothing.
Is it a coin?
It's a coin.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He throws a coin at you, Tal, and then hands you a big bag of coins, and you go through it. And he said, "The town people wanted to say thank you for your last efforts," and gives you this bag of about 30 gold pieces are in it. It is a token of their appreciation. The fire kind of burns down. It's getting a little later at night.
Could I say to the lady, the last time we were here, you had a similar expression on your face. What seems to be troubling you?
And she voices her concerns about a band of wayward travelers camped outside the town further to the south along the river. It's very abnormal for travelers to come up in this direction. They usually take the other routes to Dale if they're travelers. They seemed harmless at first, but she expressed her concerns that they've been kind of harassing some of the woodland people around and asking them to give up money or wine or threatening to put hexes on them, which she, of course, can't tolerate. And she sent some of her own town people out there to tell them to move on and get lost, but they did not. They didn't do it. And then when they came back, they actually said that they're really nice people and they can just let them be. So she's really concerned about that. She doesn't want armed conflict, but she really wants to send a stern message and ask you guys to see if you guys can sort this out. And she worries about why they might be here, what their purpose are, and what could be escalates. And you can kind of tell she's really anxious about this, and she pretty much says if they don't leave before next dawn, that she's going to consider taking some course of action, like burning their wagons to the ground. She's really upset.
I say, okay. Well, it is beginning to get late, and our party is weary. My lady, could we rest our eyes for a short time and then see about this issue?
Yes, it can. I'm going to ask my people to stay within the city walls for now. Please rest, recover. We asked too much of you. We've already done before. Her men and the dwarves kind of go out and they pull out really nice blankets and beds and in the great hall and prepare a place for you guys to sleep. But you wake up in the morning and it doesn't seem like the morning. It still seems like evening. The fog is kind of starting to block out the sun a little bit. It's not as bright, happy as this town once was after the last feast that you had here after you chased off the wargs, Gyros. People are going about their business, tending to their items.
I think we need to go check out these guys and see what they're up to.
All right, you head out, you head south. You can see the river, fog rolling off the trees. It seems to have grown overnight. And you approach the camp. You see a fire right in the middle, and then some kind of figures all circling around it. Do you see about a dozen men and women gathered around a crackling bonfire? The folks seem to be in good spirits. A few of them are even singing and dancing. Happy folks and people drinking flask and wineskins. Three wagons kind of sit at odd angles, and it looks like they've created some tents for them to sleep. Then it looks like that they've been here for a night, and then you can see some horses kind of off back to the side. Okay, and
okay, I pull out my pipe and some pipe weed. I go, yeah, I start taking a couple of puffs on my way in. Hello, everyone.
One of the persons tending to the fire steps up and says, hello, good friend. What brings you to our small camp?
Oh, we are just travelers, and we were passing by and saw that y'all were having a good time. Thought we could join in.
And he kind of looks out and goes, we've been waiting for you. Come sit down. Come sit down at the fire.
What?
He eyes your weapons.
Okay.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Sure. You cast Detect Magic, and you get a sense, but you have to do it kind of secretly, and you do feel that these are like magical people. Not quite that they're sorcerers, like, with incredible powers and capability, but there's like a magic that runs through them all, and a very whimsical kind of traveling people.
Renfest vibes?
Yes, Renfest vibes.
Like carnival worker vibes?
A little bit carnival worker vibes, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Do they have any animals with them?
They have some horses, but they're tied up back.
Okay.
I continue to approach, and I say to them, an island is a mountain, and a fountain is a drink of water. What am I?
Fountain is a breath of air.
Oh, breath of air, yeah.
He thinks about it and he looks up and down, and he responds back. He looks at you and he says, the one who makes it sells it. The one who buys it never uses it. One that uses it never knows that he has it. What is it?
Time.
Nope. He shrugs his head back and forth and he stares at you with this like big silly smile on his really skinny and bony face. One who makes it sells it. The one who buys it never uses it. One that uses it never knows he has it.
Youth?
They look and they say no.
What gets wet as it dries?
We're gonna have a riddle rap battle.
What? I just like think and dang it. Ow?
Yep.
A towel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine.
And then he turns back to you and he's like, I will not tell you the answer to my riddle, but I wish the presuppositions of it were always true. But it is not in this case. And this is what I would like to tell you. Gather close around the fire.
I'm there.
I want to tell you a story. All right. He takes a big sip of wine and he blows into the fire. It kind of turns green and a figure appears up on it. He goes, "We come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten, a long forgotten name, kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with our wine. And he survived. We asked him who he was. He wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home. But we were deep in his land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back towards his homeland. His enemies hunted him, and they said he was a prince. Yep, we didn't give him up. We didn't turn him in to those assassins that fell upon us like wolves. This man of royal blood fought to protect us as we protect him. He bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us, and he said, 'I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish. Leave when you choose. And now, know that you're always safe in my land.'" The fire kind of continues to transform, and you can see the man with the human-like figure in it kind of slays multiple beasts, and the fire begins to grow bigger and brighter. Then he turns to you and his voice kind of sombers and says, "A curse has befallen our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant, and we now alone have the ability to leave his domain. We're traveling far and wide, find heroes such as yourself to end our dread lord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, Madame Eva, knows all. Please follow us. We will introduce you to her so you can speak with her."
We're going on an adventure.
When we arrived, you said that you had been waiting for us. What did you mean by that?
Yes, I knew. The fire told me that we would meet the people today that could help us. We knew.
But we're just travelers. There's nothing special about us.
He looks at you and he goes, "Our Lord is powerful. He knows. You are the one
Is his
that we
name
were
the Lord
looking
of Light?
He turns back and he's Mother Light has not helped us in centuries. We need your help."
All right, let's go see your fearless leader.
And he says, "Follow us now." During the story, like the tone totally changed around the campfire. Everyone got quiet. And then immediately after you guys said that, they start packing up and loading up their wagons like clockwork. They put out the fire, they clean up their items, they take their stone little altar they kind of couldn't start deconstructing it and throwing it around, and they immediately start moving along, walking amongst their cabins, and they're heading east from it straight into the woods. The fog continues to roll all around you. The air kind of grows chill. The fog gets thicker and thicker and almost becomes slightly hard to breathe as you continue to progress. And you always kind of try to keep them right in front of you so you can kind of see and stay tracking where they are. As you progress further in, the more and more trees begin to wrap around you. Then you look up and you realize that you can no longer see them, and you're just like in the woods. So you're surrounded by darkness, and you can only see all three of you together. And let me.
Think back, and I said, I should have probably casted Hunter's Mark on them before they left us.
It's dark where we are.
You only see each other.
All right, I have a spell for this. I will cast Produce Flame.
Okay. The flame appears in your hand and you hold it out straight in front of you.
Can we see anything?
No, you just see the dark woods all around you and trees in every kind of direction. No, you can't see where the other people were.
Are there any tracks on the ground?
You look for tracks and they seem like they're going in all the directions. You're standing right here in the middle.
Okay.
Looks like there was something that went that way. There was like something that went that. There's something that went that way. Something went that way.
Can I roll like a survival check and see if I can ascertain anything from that?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
14.
14. You look at these tracks and they don't look natural. They don't look like a beast that you had. It looks like something was maybe dragged and then something was stepped on and then something was, but they're all kind of, the places where you can make out ones are cut by different logs and wood, and it looks like it's just chaos.
Almost like a battle was fought here?
Pretty much, yeah. A kind of good description, like there was a lot of activity or none of these tracks make sense.
Can anybody think back to his riddle and try to draw parallels from that to our current situation?
I didn't jot down the riddle.
The one who makes it sells it. The one who buys it never uses it. The one who uses it doesn't know he has it. I guess we start to kind of fan out towards the trees.
Okay, you start walking off in that direction, Garros. Tala and Bam, you no longer see Garros,
Great.
Uh-oh.
and
And do I
Garros, you
see?
no longer see them.
No. Okay. Start.
Hey,
stepping
bud.
backward. Start walking backwards in the same.
The same,
Yeah.
the same direction. Tala and Bam, you hear someone approaching you from the other direction, like not in the direction which Garros walked.
Okay, can we see them?
No, they're like a ghostly figure. Oh, not a ghostly figure. They're like a figure, like very descriptive to this, kind of in the back.
Okay, this is the time that I should turn my eyes red.
Your eyes are now red.
I've been waiting for this.
What do you do, Tala or Bam? There's some type of thing moving towards you from behind.
I will call out to it. Hello?
Gareth, you start walking backwards. You see nothing, nothing in front of you, and you hear something call out from behind you.
I turn around.
You see two figures in front of you, kind of like in the distance.
I wave my hands and jump up and down.
Tala, you see somebody, the shape kind of like moves and jumps up and down.
Gross, is that you?
It is. It is.
Okay, you're back together.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's not cool.
And my eyes are still red.
Like your eyes are still red. Yes, correct.
Okay. So he walked, let's say he walked west, but I saw him
Come back to the from the east.
from the east. Yeah. Is that right, DM?
So
And
I
how
tie
far?
a rope around us three.
Yeah, I agree. How far away did he get before we couldn't see him anymore?
It's really hard to tell distances, but you think it might have been about 15 feet. Okay, so you've tied a rope around all you
Well,
guys.
at minimum, we all need to be like holding on to a rope.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
essentially, he left in one direction and came back in the other.
Yes.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes.
So he made a circle. How did he do that?
But to me, it was only a straight line.
Right. So you walked around a globe.
Yeah. Can we light a torch and drop a torch on the ground?
Yes, you can.
Or stick the torch out of the ground?
Yeah. So you light a torch with your flint. You kind of stick it in the ground, Tala, right next to the three of you.
Perfect.
And you still have that flame in your hand.
I think I like the idea. Okay, what do we can see with one torch on the ground?
It's just like illuminating your legs and
Okay.
a little bit of ground below you.
Let's go 5 feet out, put out, and put another torch. I've got 10 torches.
Okay. All right, you go 5 feet out and you
Let's go
plant another
10.
torch.
Let's
Okay,
go 10 feet.
Okay.
All of us together. We're all holding on to the rope.
Okay. You're all holding on the rope together. You walk. You put a torch, like here. And you move further, and you put a torch here,
Yep.
and here, and then here. You keep going. And you keep going.
If we stop and turn around, can we still see all the torches?
You can see. How many torches did you put out?
We put out
How
4
far?
so far, I think.
You put out 4 so far. So you can no longer see the first one you put in.
Oh dear.
The fog is just kind of all encompassing you and limiting your line of sight.
Oh, okay. It's not that it's curved. We don't have a curvature of the land.
So it's a fog thing. Do we just continue to go in one direction until we run into something?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Keep moving in one direction, dropping 2 more torches as you kind of set it apart. You grow more confident. You figure out kind of the distance you have before the fog kind of distracts the view, and you kind of push on, moving forward into it.
I think we follow that.
Okay. You continue to move along that path, and you kind of see it's a path kind of made of dirt and mud, and then you see a cobblestone, you see another cobblestone, and by the end, there's a path through the forest. You continue to progress through it. Through the woods, you see the road, and you can see 2 high stone buttresses looming heavily in the fog, and you can kind of see a wall across it, and it's an iron gate that hangs in the stonework. And the fog kind of clears as you approach the big wall. 2 giant stone statues holding a greatsword, one on the left, one on the right. And then the gates, you can tell even from this distance, you kind of stop while you're 50 feet out. They're cracked open.
Do we see a lot of foot traffic going towards the
Yes,
gate or from the
it
gate?
looks like a caravan might have been come from or come to, or maybe even both, through the gate. The gate is open. You can tell the heads of the statues are laying at their feet, one to the left, one to the right, and they greet you only with silence.
That would be
Guess
bad
we
if
should
the
go
stone
in.
statues started talking to us. Yeah, I guess we were kind of invited in, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's stroll through like we own the place, like we should be
Okay.
here.
You head through the gates. Go ahead.
Did we catch the names of any of those guys that we were talking to? The name
Uh,
themselves?
Madam Eva. I
Okay.
wanted you to talk to Madam Eva.
Okay.
You didn't ask them their names. You didn't give them your names. No
We
name
were too
swapping.
busy with the riddles.
But no worries. You got Madam Eva.
Well, I'm worried.
Well, you may need to be worried, but you move through the gates and you kind of move into a land. It is definitely dark. It looks like from where you can see, there's a village, maybe a bunch of miles ahead. You can kind of make out the little lights of a village kind of in the distance on the horizon. There's a dark forest towards the right of you, kind of just as dark as the one you came through. And then across the left, you can kind of see a river kind of cutting through the land on the horizon and going. But then you smell something. It smells like death coming from the woods. Something's there. What do you guys want to do?
Should we investigate the smell?
Yeah. Do you want to turn into a creature that can smell things out better than humans?
Can we identify the source of the smell? Is it
Yeah.
enough?
You kind of start searching for it with your 15. Tyler, you're the first one to identify it with your passive perception. Appears to be a body of a man, a commoner. He is muddy clothes or torn. There's claw mark rips into it. Crows have been pecking on it. You can kind of tell the little crow's feet all around it, kind of been jumping around. And he's been dead for several days.
Can I tell what attacked him?
Does it look like he has three arrow holes in him?
No. You kind of search. There's no arrow holes. There are definitely claw marks. You just can't tell the animal, beast, thing. Maybe they're tooth marks. It's hard to tell.
Can I, like, at least identify whether it's one of my shapeshift animals? Includes dire wolf, hyena, boar, wolf, spider, brown bear, lion, and tiger.
It definitely was canine in nature, be it dog or cat, canine or feline. It wasn't spider. It wasn't those other ones. It was in that family.
Okay.
What else do you want to do with the body? You kind of are standing around the body. The village lights twinkle
Anyone
ahead
else?
of you. You look around the road and you see nothing.
Can I see if he's got anything in his clothes?
You start to search him. He has nothing. There, you turn out his pockets. He has nothing. But then you notice he has something in his hand.
All right, what is it?
You pull it open and it appears to be a letter.
Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina, for these past nights have been bitten by a vampire. For 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now my dear Irina is tormented by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead, and encircle this land with symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped within this community. Return for your reward after we all depart for a better life.
You can see that river that's flowing to your left of you. It kind of runs really clear, it's loud for how far it is away from you as you kind of approach the village. The village itself, you can start making sense kind of through the fog, like what you're looking at. The stones themselves are kind of just wet cobblestones at this point. In the tall shapes of the buildings themselves, you can start making out village dwellings. No sound cuts the silence except for someone crying, really loud, echoing through the streets from a distance.
So, I do have
Go ahead.
a question on the letter. It says, "Hail thee of might and valor." Got it. Do we get the sense that this letter is addressed somehow to us, or is it?
You can't tell. There's nothing to indicate if this was intended for you or not, but it definitely seems to be another call for adventure. Sorry.
I don't think so.
We
This
keep
place
going.
looks
Okay.
grim.
Yeah. You definitely get a grim feeling as you kind of approach the town.
This feels like Jack the Ripper London.
As you kind of walk into the town, you can see people shifting and moving around in it, walking up and down, and they all kind of look at you as you pass. And you can tell that their clothing, they're all kind of thickly looking, kind of pale, dark eyes, look at you as you pass. No one walks up directly to you. They're going in their direction. They kind of just stare at you as you pass, and then they just keep going in their direction. Their clothes are kind of uniform and gray-like. Tala, beneath your feet, you see a cat. It's kind of white and gray, and kind of rubs up the side of your foot.
Can I talk to it?
What do you say?
Hi, kitty.
It responds back with a purr, just goes around your other foot and kind of presses against your foot.
Kitty, do you know what this town is called?
It says back, Barovia. You're in Barovia, Barovia.
No. Do you know where I could find the burgomaster?
It kind of shakes its head yes, but it doesn't seem very helpful, and it just wants to walk around your feet, doing figure eights around your feet.
Can I scratch its ears?
You scratch its ears, and the cat is amused.
Kitty, why does everyone here look so sad?
It kind of looks up at you and it says, I don't know what you're referring to. You can see some people moving in and out. You start walking around. You hear a cry that echoes through the streets, and it seems like the people don't take any notice or take any action whatsoever about that. Like, that doesn't even faze them, the wailing that's happening. You also see a cart break around the lines, and a lady bangs on a door of a residence, then gives them a pie, gets some currency in exchange, keeps dragging her cart along the road, and then bangs on the next door, and bangs on the next door.
I think we need to talk with the pie lady, or go to the burgomaster's place.
The pie lady kind of turns around this corner and starts knocking down on this side of the house, and you guys are standing right on the outside of town.
Okay, I walk
You
up
have to
to
run
her.
and catch up to her. Okay. So you run up to her, and she's doing it, and you can kind of tell she doesn't really want to talk to you. She keeps kind of pulling her cart along, and she says, these are dream pies. They let you dream.
What are they made out of?
Special. They're very special."
I don't want no Sweeney Todd type of pies.
She goes, I don't know a Sweeney Todd. Is he a sorcerer or makes pies?
He makes pies.
She keeps pulling her cart and doesn't seem to want to interact with you.
I reach in my pocket and I grab some coinage and I say, "How much for the pies?"
1 gold for 1 pie.
Town seems to have a dark, ominous feeling upon it. Do you know why?
She kind of looks around and she's like, I don't know what you're referring to.
Your lord, where does he take visitors?
And she laughs and she says, Strahd doesn't take visitors. He decides who he visits. Why are you in this town?
We were invited.
And she kind of looks back and she's like, oh, okay.
Did she name someone just there?
Yeah, she said, Strahd.
Who is Strahd?
He oversees the land and the water and the weather. We all live in his domain.
Oh, so he's not the town master.
No, he's not the town master of this town. And she said, if you don't have any more questions, I need to get back to selling my pies.
One more.
Turns to you.
Can you solve a riddle for me? The one who
she's like,
makes it
okay.
sells it. The one who buys it never uses it. The one who uses it doesn't know he has it.
She laughs. And she's like, you all three will learn soon enough. She kind of rolls her eyes and starts pushing her cart down the way.
Great. That was fruitful.
Is it dreams?
But did you buy a pie from her?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. You have a pie, and she took 1 of your golds.
Yes.
You hear kind of bang on doors, and so you continue to walk down the street. You can see just people passing you, kind of back and forth, and kind of just looking at you as you walk past, no one saying anything. Then you see two children staring at you kind of intently, they're not moving. They're kind of standing on the side of the road.
Well, we've had Tala wasn't with us previously, but we've had good luck with getting information out of the children, and I think, hello, would you like a pie?
The little boy starts to cry.
Oh,
Jeez.
it's okay.
And that's where we'll end the session tonight.